Hey viewers, and today we are going to be doing the website for Sweat Health. My name is Roy, I'm a web designer. If you do find the content useful, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and let's get into the video. So before we get into the design, we have to remember our target audience, who we are designing for, which is Generation Y or Millennials. We're going to try and keep some of these points in our mind when we design, and it's going to help with certain decisions. So one of these points is they use the phone more than the computer. So this will be a good opportunity to do some mobile first design or mobile responsive design. And there's been some feedback about that. So let's kick it off with the frame. Hit the F key, iPhone X, straight in. What we're going to do is we're going to go back to our logo that we created yesterday. We are just gonna, let's see. So what we're gonna do is we are going to try and use, let's see if I was to just shrink that down. Yeah. So just to keep things very simple, we had this logo, right? And what we're gonna do for now is we are gonna shrink this right down. So let's say 72. That one doesn't work anymore. So one we did yesterday was ooh, where have you gone? You have disappeared. And that one is not flat yet. If we bring that down to 32, yeah, bring down the thickness. Okay. No, let's delete that one. Let's use that one. Bring it across. How big is that one? Okay. So let's see. 72 heights. Okay, that's a bit better. Bring down the thickness. Okay, so I think that works fine. So let's group that, copy it, and let's go back to the website. So here we are. We got the logo, and if I was to put that into an auto layout, that's not a good idea right now. So if I was just to group that as well, Shift A, okay, auto layout, great. And what we're going to grab from Tailwind straight away is the burger menu. So let's just choose something like that. Come back, paste that. If we select that frame, paste it in, and we are going to just change this slightly. So we can, this is a flex box as well, space between. We are going to then say fixed, and let's say a width of 375, and we need it to go to the right. We align it. Okay, this is pretty nice. Let's say we vertically align it. The height is around 80, or let's say 100, or we stick to the 8-point grid. Put a spacing of 24 and 24. Okay, so that's pretty quick. And so we got the menu here, and then infographics, they use more than the computer. Okay, so company's mission, brand, style. So that can be quite could be in the tone or the into the heading. So I'm just going to put in some text. Can I spell analyzing? Analyzing sweat to improve your health and performance. So let's make that a bit bigger. Can we make that even more bigger? 32. So that might be too big. So let's go to 24. I'm gonna make that in, should we say bold? Is that too bold? Yeah, that's way too bold. Okay, let's say semi-bold. Line height, let's say 150. 150 is good enough. Sometimes you don't always want it to be too tight. Okay. And again, you can always play around. One thing to make this a bit more different, right? We can make this the darkest blue as opposed to always using dark gray. So let's make that the darkest blue as well. Analyzing your sweat to improve your health and performance. So the inspiration behind this is I am sweat high. So they're not out yet, but the CTAs join and they're asking you to subscribe. So I think we're gonna follow the same thing, and they're just amazing. So analyzing sweat to improve your health and performance. And then what we'll do is we'll just say join us and get the latest news when we release. Oh gosh, so I can't spell today. So let's bring that to 16 and we'll be regular. That is also going to be, we're going to shift A for auto layout again, and we're going to, for now we're going to say fixed again, 375, align to the left, padding of 24, what was I saying, 24 and 24, or was it 32 and 32? Okay. And that, this is quite funny, right? This is, any developers, this is like CSS breaking out of the box. It's just, Figma is so cool, it's just so too perfect. So fill container, join us and get the latest news when we release. Okay, or maybe even better, join our beta. Maybe I'm just thinking of copy, not always, just as an example, right? And then we're instead of a really big blatant CTA, we're gonna do a bit of neomorphism, right? I think this is what I was practicing the other day. So this could be with infographics, but not 100% infographics. So what we can do is, again, what we did yesterday for the logo. We can just plot some points. We're going to do like a sweat drop kind of thing. And then we're going to fill it we're going to use the lightest blue, and I didn't know that sweat can be different colors. So let's have a light gray, get rid of the stroke, and the effect. This is amazing, right? So we're not going to make this absolutely perfect. So you see that I put a drop shadow, and then I'll put an inner shadow. And then if we get rid of all those really sharp points, give it these really nice curves, we are basically imitating a sweat drop. And how that is just, that looks pretty nice. Pretty real as well. Neomorphism at its finest. I'm kidding, I'm just playing around. So now another nice thing, right, is, well, that can be like an infographic, kind of. So if I go here and I say lactose, I can make that a bit bigger. We do Shift A, and we are going to fill that with white, and then we are gonna go in here. We are gonna make that 24 pixel line height. Okay, and we are going to then make this perfectly round, so 22. We're gonna come here, we're gonna say 8, 16, 8, 16. Can't really see that, right? So we are then going to put another effect, and this time we're gonna put a drop shadow, but we're gonna make this less harsh. So we're gonna try and make this appear, so let's say 15, 20, and 60. Okay, that's probably way too ahead. So again, I'm just messing around with numbers here. Bring that down to 15. Okay, we don't want it to be too. So yeah, you got lactose, and we're going to introduce the tick just to say it's monitoring these certain metrics. So if we paste that in, and if we put that on the other side, okay, and then what we're going to do is we are also going to give this auto layout on the component, right? We're playing around with stuff now, and we are going to then give this, let's think now. So if we go to, let's go to the opposite colors. Okay, so let's go orange. We're trying to complement these colors rather than always be the shades of blue. We're going to try and complement them, and because I'm doing that, we're then going to make that 12. We're also going to make that tick white, and we're going to make that the darkest blue. Okay, cool. So lactose, we might as well make that the same as. So you got your lactose, and what else do we have? What other metrics? So lactose, glucose, and hydration. Okay, glucose, hydration. And let's just go to the other colors. So let's just get rid of that. Oop. Oh, we are getting it up to 15 minutes. So if I were to go, no, let's not use a style. The reason why I don't use a style is because, so we go orange, then we go yellow, and then we go green. Where is green? There we are. Okay, so I think that's brought a bit of color to everything. So they're just we're analyzing these kind of metrics. So we can group all of this as well. We can bring this up. Ooh, I made 2. Wow. And just to show you here, the really nice thing is if I were to change this to, let's say, the lightest blue, I mean, that is awesome. Also change these to blue as well. You're just going to get this really nice effect where it nearly looks like, yeah, it nearly looks real. I mean, that is just insane, right? And let's make this the lightest blue because there's one below that one. Okay, so that is just, you can see that is just awesome. Anyway, Neomorphism at its finest, kind of. So we got infographics, we got some sort of hopefully good copy. Okay, don't laugh at my coffee or copy. Haven't had a coffee yet. Actually, let me just quickly have a sip of tea. Okay, nice English tea with milk. Yeah, not black tea, no sugar. Okay, so we don't have a CTA anywhere. Okay, so probably the place to do that is right beneath here. So let's bring this down, and we are just going to do the same thing as them, which is join. And let's go in here, and we go in here and we say join. Shift A. I mean, I'm using Shift A all the time now. It's just amazing. Fill. We're going to do blue. 500. Is there enough contrast? We're not going to get into too much of that right now. We're going to make this white. We're going to make it bold. Semi-bold, actually. Let's make it 18. And if we just do the line height of 26 pixels, for example, this is all from Tailwind, CSS, some of these references. Okay, the height is 46. Apple recommend at least 44 pixels height. So we've just gone a bit higher. But here, we're going to be a bit generous. With the padding. And we are going to make that pure round as well. So, yeah, I think that is pretty much got quite a lot of ingredients. That one we're going to have. Now, if everything's going to be blue, I don't know if that's a good thing. So let's try it out anyway. Probably not. Yeah. So we're going to find the mid-gray. Let's say gray 600. Okay, there we go. I think that is pretty nice for the mobile first. We kept it very simple. We haven't gone absolutely crazy. Just to make it a bit more real, we can put a radius there, 40. We can bring that down a bit just to make the height a bit more generous. Also bring that down. Okay, so here I'm just 32, yeah, that's probably too big. 24 is fine. Okay, so we kept it simple. Last thing to make that CTA stand out a tiny bit is we can add an icon in there. Just place that, because we got icons on these, and then we're just going to color that white. That arrow might be too big actually, but let's keep it like that for now. So we have our mobile first design with a bit of neomorphism, bit of trend. I think that is nice and simple. So we're reaching to 21 minutes. Okay, so let's see if we can do a desktop version. 1920 by 1080. Okay, so here, just gonna paste that. We're gonna say 1680. Bring that right in the middle. Okay, that is another width in the breakpoints. So 1680, and there's gonna be other items in there. We're just gonna about tech benefits. We're just gonna use this as reference. So about, we got about, group that, and we're just gonna say tech. That might not be the right thing to say, but I'm gonna do it anyway. About tech. We got benefits. Copy that. Let's bring that into an auto layout. Spacing, let's say 16 or 24. About tech benefits. What else was there? News and press room. News. And then press room. Now, did they uppercase the room? No, oh, they did. Okay, great. So now we don't want all the lows bold because we just want to have regular 18. We don't want them to all stand out, right? So again, we're going to go to gray 6. And yeah, they've kept it very simple. Here we can bring the CTA right here instead of having the burger menu there. So we paste that, delete. Let's get rid of that arrow right. Okay. So yeah, that's quite nice, quite simple. And then we're going to bring this in. And now we get to play around with sizing, and we're going to make that way bigger. So 48 plus another 8, 56. Okay, let's reduce the line height now. Let's also make this bigger to 24. Okay, so maybe 24 is too big. So let's go to 18. and then we're going to make this a bigger CTA. So shall we say, stick to 8, but we're going to make this 24, 28. Okay, and we're going to make this bigger as well, 16. So now it's up to 60. We're just going to make that pure round. Okay, we're going to be more generous with the left and the right padding. So now it's standing out. It's a bigger CTA. We can get rid of this padding on the left and the right. So that is quite nice. We're also going to bring this over. So paste that. Okay, so we got some nice metrics. That could even be here. Okay. We don't have to go too crazy with images, but I'm going to give one example at least. So if we times that by 2, you can't lock it for some reason. We cannot lock it, so we're just going to make it bigger. We're going to then just place these over. We're going to make them bigger as well. Let's say 18. We are on 27 minutes. Wow. Okay, so, well, that is quite simple, right? And then one thing we're going to introduce is we're going to introduce a frame, and that is going to be the watch. This might be on the watch, maybe, and we're going to then fill this. So we're going to combine a bit of glass morphism, but we're not going to do the blur. So fill, and we'll say white. Actually, sorry, fill it with white, but this is going to be a gradient from top left to bottom right. This might be a bit much, but why not? We're practicing. 40 border radius. Again, is very similar to Fitbit, what they've kind of done, but not exactly the same. We are going to make that a thicker border. Let's make it even thicker, 8. Can't really see that much, right? So maybe we get rid of the linear, make it solid, make it 50. And actually, why don't we change it to black? Bring that down to 10. Okay, so that might be a bit better. Oop, can I move that? And then what we can introduce in there is just going to bring in a nice big tick. Copy, come over here, paste. We're going to times that by, let's say, 3. We're going to do Shift A again, and we are going to just color this white, and then 34 to make it nice and round. And then we're just going to say sweat levels. Just say levels good, levels good. And lastly, let's see what happens if we put in a drop shadow. Yeah, so that goes a bit mad because of the linear. So 30, 70, 120. Okay, so that might be quite a lot of shadow in there because we want that to appear above. Oops. So the fill is going to be pure white, and this, I think we can use the blue. There we go. We can make that white as well. And that will be the darkest blue. And make that semi-bold. Okay, nice. So pretty simple. Nothing insane, right? Gone over 31 minutes. And then just another version to introduce is with an image. Okay, so let's say we had this infographic around there. So we got a few graphics, and then another nice thing we can do is use that. Okay, so Fitbit have got real people, so we get rid of these. This is going to be a shape for an image, and if I go to pixels, one image that I think is pretty cool, I go to, where was it now, fitness. Okay, so I thought this one is quite nice. She's got the iPhone, I mean the iWatch, or the Apple Watch, sorry. And let's bring that one in. Let's see if that did it. Okay, nice. So let's zoom out. Let's bring that down to 1280 width, just so it's not taking up the whole screen. Copy. Actually, so we're going to group that. We'll copy and paste, and then right click, use as mask, and then we can just paste that inside. And just so you can see some of the watch, I think that's pretty cool. And let's bring that to front. Yeah, what you'd hope there is if I bring that down to 10, it's going to mess up because of the shadows. So you can see we can do a bit of glass morphism there, but right now we're probably going to run out of time. So and then one thing we can do is use the brand shape again. So let's rotate that, and let's give that, let us give that a nice light blue. Do we want to use the strong blue? And that's pretty nice as well. Let's copy that and rotate, and then we'll go to blue 300. Yeah, so I think those are quite nice. Okay, so levels are good, and you can imagine there you could do some glass morphism, but I'll probably share that later in Dribble if you want to follow me there. But I think this is good enough. Okay, we probably got A/B testing as well, so you can imagine that's one hero, that's another hero. There's quite a lot of blue bouncing around, so maybe we want to make these blues a bit lighter. Contrast might not be great, but we want the eyes to be here, and this one I think we could make that a stroke of blue. that will be blue as well. Okay, so now we're kind of getting the eyes around here, so that could probably work. Okay, so hope you enjoyed this episode. We've gone over 30 minutes, but under 40 minutes. We've done some mobile first design with infographics, and we're just doing different versions. Very simple, very clean. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.